It's time to grab that cup of coffee, sit back, and relax. Coming to you live from the Independence Chamber of Commerce at Studio 210 on the historic Independence Square, it's time for Good Morning Monday.
Good morning and happy Monday, Independence. Welcome to another edition of Good Morning Monday with the Independence Chamber of Commerce. I'm Paula McKinney.
And I'm Ron Finke with Stewardship Capital. And I get the privilege of co-hosting today.
Yes, and we are so glad to have you with us today, Ron. Stewardship Capital was our August member of the month. So we've been celebrating you guys all month. And I thought, what a better way to wrap that up than to have you right here in the hot seat with me this morning.
Oh, well, I didn't know about the hot seat, but it is turning into fall. So I promise not to mess up too bad.
All right, perfect. We'll see about that. But in all seriousness, we're thrilled to highlight not just your business, but the role you play in our community right here in Independence.
Well, thank you, Paula. It really is an honor, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you this morning.
Yes, but before we dive into that, we definitely want to thank our Studio 210 sponsor who helps make Good Morning Monday possible, Alicia Scott with State Farm. Thank you so much for supporting this program. We could not do it without you.
And she has been very involved, and we thank you for your support, Alicia.
Yes, perfect. Well, let's get this show rolling because we've got a lot of great updates, events, and member highlights to share. All right, folks, time to flip through our Chamber's calendar, and here's what's coming up this week, September 8th through the 12th. Tomorrow on September 9th, I will be hosting our Ambassadors Committee meeting. So 8:45 a.m. for networking, and our meeting begins right at 9, and that's where the magic happens, right there in that Ambassador Committee meeting.
Great. And on Wednesday, September 10th, we convene at 8 a.m. for our Chamber Board meeting at the Chamber office. There's plenty of momentum after Santa Calagan,
Yes.
And we're planning ahead.
Absolutely. So that's what's happening this week around the Chamber. There's plenty of ways to connect, learn, and celebrate together.
That sounds like a pretty busy week.
We're ramping back up after Santa Calagan. We sure are. Speaking of celebrating, Ron, we can't wait to wrap up today with shining a spotlight on you and Stewardship Capital, our August member of the month. Since you're sitting right here with me, it's the perfect time to talk with you about your business and what this recognition means.
We are so happy to have been selected as a member of the month. I've been a member of the Chamber since, I believe, 1978.
Yes.
And what we do at this point, and always have, is to help people, whether they have a lot of money or no money at all, and to give them good, solid advice, and also to try to make money for them without losing it in the bad times.
That's excellent. So now being a Chamber member is more about business. It's about relationships. What part of being an Independence Chamber member, what's that meant to you and your team?
Well, there's a kind of a funny saying, which we all call giving back to the community. And that's kind of gives me a bad vibe, like we're stealing something in the first place. So I just like the idea of giving.
Yes.
And the Chamber is an excellent place to give of our time and resources to help the entire community grow.
Yes, I love that. You and your team are always supportive of the community events. What's one thing you really enjoy about being active in the Independence community?
Well, as one of my good friends has always said, Independence is filled with giving people. And there's not anything that we could go through that someone is not willing to help us either out of a hole we may have even dug for ourselves, but more than that, we like to do business with local people.
Yes. Looking ahead, what's one piece of advice you'd give someone just starting their business or just joining the Chamber?
Well, I think that there's no substitute for getting out of your office or your store, whatever, and visiting with other people. And of course, the Chamber is a perfect place to do that and to start that.
Yeah. Something we didn't talk about, Ron, but if someone is interested in reaching out to Stewardship Capital, what's the best way for them to do that? If they're just like, you know what, financial planning and trying to see where I need to go with that is what I need to do. What's the best way for them to reach out to you guys?
Well, we have what we call a get acquainted meeting, where we just tell people what we do and can do for them and find out what they're really interested in. And you can go to the website and even find a time to set that meeting
that's
yourself
perfect.
at your own convenience. And of course, we're in the Blue Ridge Bank building at the corner of Little Blue Parkway and I-70.
Very centrally located. That's excellent. And, we talked a little bit about your Stewardship Capital, and we've talked about your involvement in the community and your staff. I mean, they are just so pleasant to be around and work with. So I'm sure that anyone who comes in would be able to sit right down and talk to them like their family. So.
I am just pleased beyond all measure in terms of people like Celeste, who's an ambassador for the Chamber, and Luke Davis, who's our Executive Vice President, President of the Rotary Club, and they are also just very, very giving people. And then Aaron Pickert is also an advisor with us, and Chris Walden. So I've never been at such a great place in business now during the last 28 years since I started Stewardship Capital.
That's excellent. Well, we have had so much fun celebrating Stewardship Capital as our August member of the month, but now comes one of my favorite parts of Good Morning Monday. It's time to draw for September member of the month. I do want to let everyone know, if you have filled out the form on our website, your name is in this fishbowl, and we keep your names in there. So if you don't win this month, we'll keep them in there for next month.
And the lucky winner is Cruise Planners.
All right.
Mary.
Congratulations to Mary House of Cruise Planners. We'll be celebrating Mary all month long, highlighting your business. And of course, I'll be inviting Mary to join me on Good Morning Monday soon. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of today's Good Morning Monday. A huge thank you to you, Ron, being my co-host with Stewardship Capital, helping me celebrate and talk about our calendar, and of course, wrapping up celebrating you and Stewardship Capital.
Well, thank you very much. And it's always fun to be here. It's always something great going on in the Chamber.
It is. And of course, we can't sign off without thanking our amazing sponsor, Alicia Scott State Farm, from protecting what matters most to helping families plan for the future. Alicia and her team are such a valuable part of our Chamber and our community.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Alicia. Thank you for all of your involvement and supporting Good Morning Monday and all of the things at the Chamber.
All right, friends, that's it for this week. Be sure to check the Chamber calendar, get plugged into those upcoming events, and we'll see you back here next Monday morning. I'm not sure who my co-host will be next week, but got to tune in to find out. Until then, have a wonderful week, Independence.
It's a great day, Independence. The sun is shining bright. It's a great day, Independence. The mood is all